Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you a practical guide on how to do technical analysis on MT4 and MT5. So stay tuned. If you are yet to subscribe, feel free to subscribe and also like the video to enable other forex traders come together for discussion. So I've already arranged the what I'm going to do for purposes of saving time. So let me start with pounds USD. So what I will just do is to scan over it to see if there is any developing pattern that one can trade. This is a trend line. So the market is we are going to see if it's going to respect this trend line and come back. It's in the monthly chart. The market is still bullish. So let's go to the weekly. So in the weekly, we have ascending channel. So we're expecting the market to approach this area. So it's likely we're going to buy and wait for market to reach this area. But the market may come down to this area to take out liquidity before moving up. So you may be expecting something like this. And this gives us W pattern too in the trend line. So we may just wait to see how the market will move within the week. So the daily time frame, we also have you see how this trend line was broken and retest. So let's observe and see what happens. There is no clear pattern in the daily time frame. In the 4-hour time frame, let's see if there is any pattern. Okay, so this is a demand level, supply level, and we have liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. So we may expect a hunt of this liquidity that will take price to this supply area. And if it breaks that supply area, we are likely going to see price approaching. Remember that we had a trend line in the weekly. So if we break this trend line, if we break this demand area, a supply area, we are going to approach this area, this trend line. So we'll be looking for the possible best entry area for us to maximize our risk reward ratio. So let's wait, maybe by London session or New York session, we see what is happening. If it presents opportunity for us to enter the market. So let's do for Euro USD. So basically Euro USD is ranging on the monthly time frame. You see how it's ranging. So it's still at the middle of the range. No much. The weekly time frame uh, is only a kind of there's a kind of breakout from the trend line channel, which retested and also returned. So there is no clear setup or chart pattern. So we leave it. So I'm expecting price to reach this area or come down to this area of demand for me to buy. So in the 4 hours chart, another important thing is that I have not talked about is the psychological level. These are the round numbers. They are very important in trading. I didn't remember to emphasize on the importance of the psychological levels in trading. So if you look in this chart, H4 chart, I have psychological numbers. So they are important, very important areas that big banks and institutional traders they make use of it in placing orders and taking profit. So we always make use of psychological numbers, big round numbers, and quarter numbers. I think there is a book on that which I may add in the link below. So we have a trend which was broken. Now you have there is nothing much, clear cut pattern. The market is just shopping. It's in a range at the moment. Let's look at the daily chart. Okay, daily chart, but nothing much. No much setup on Euro USD. So let's go to AUDC analysis. On the monthly time frame, it's in the middle of the descending channel. Descending is in the middle of the triangle. So we can see a downward trend. So we're expecting price to come down or move up to this area before coming down. So we're expecting price. Remember in the afternoon, I placed a trade. I told you guys that I made a mistake. I didn't check the 1 hour. The 1 hour. If you are placing a trade, you ought to always do that at the support and resistance area. So this. I did place this trade, and it wasn't in harmony with the higher time frame. So that is the importance of good risk management. So that in case you are wrong, in case you didn't do the right thing, you will not blow your account. You just be patient and wait for the trade to evolve. So I will be buying when price approach this area. Hoping that it will break out this area in order to be in harmony with the higher time frame. So let's go to Australian dollar, France. So in the monthly time frame, we don't have a good view of the historical data in the monthly time frame and in the weekly time frame. the market is in descending channel. So we're expecting to wait for price to break out the channel or test the channel and continue the downward movement. So we just have to wait and be patient for the price to evolve. Then on the daily time frame, almost the same thing, but we are approaching a roadblock, although price may still go up to clear this liquidity. So we don't have a high probability pattern at the moment, so we move on. So let's go to the next trade. Remember, I have 30 minutes, which is the limit of my recording software. 30 minutes to do this analysis. So let's check what is happening in the monthly. The market has been bullish, so we're expecting that the market will come down. I think there is a harmonic pattern here, and we have also this pattern. So we're expecting price to come down and obey the chart pattern. Then the other one is the weekly. Here is the weekly. This monthly, they don't have weekly. Let me just use this one as weekly. Okay. So you can see that the price is trying to come down to the trend line. So let's check if we have any good. Really nothing much on the 1 hour time frame, but in H4 time frame, we can appreciate some feelings. We can appreciate some patterns. So we are going to be waiting for price to approach these demand areas. For this should be a liquidity grab. So we are going to be waiting for price to come to this area after grabbing the liquidity here. So the liquidity concept is very important in trading. We must combine everything together. So liquidity, this liquidity follows. So we're expecting price to come and remove the liquidity, then approach the demand area before going to the supply area. So anything can happen. The most important thing is that you are doing your risk management adequately and properly. So, I think the software for recording is signaling that the time is up. So I will continue from where I stopped. So let's continue with the analysis. Let's do analysis for, have we done for this Australian dollar JPY? Think we are, I did that in the afternoon. Let's just skip to another one. Australian dollar So ideally, we're supposed to check for news at forestfactory.com, but um, I'm just doing this for beginners to just have a grasp of how to do technical analysis. You remember I earlier did a video on a question which was asked by one of our viewers on which is the best system to analyze the market. So I answered that it's a combination of both technical analysis and the fundamentals analysis. So let's continue. Ideally, before you start your trade, you go through the calendar and see what is up, what the uh, fundamentals is like before you start your technical analysis. So let's see Australian dollar. So, so we have a trend line. It's more of ascending trend line. So we are to wait for price to come down before we enter. For we're anticipating price to do like this, to come down to this trend line, then move up. It will take time. 80% of the time you are going to be waiting for price to approach your area of interest or point of interest. So on the weekly time frame, we have a trend line. I see any other pattern, and we have demand area, and we have liquidity in this area, and we have this is demand area, supply area. Sorry for the mistake. So we may be expecting price to clear this liquidity, then come to this area before we can now say we are buying. And this is equally in tandem with what we saw in monthly chart. So it may not really, they may not really clear this liquidity. It may just touch this area and go up to this area. But you just have to be patient. Market is a game of patience. This forecast may take weeks or months before they are fulfilled. So what's happening on the 4 hours? We have a harmonic more of big W. This is a pattern, and we check it with what we have in the more weekly. You find that that is in harmony. So this in this trade we ought to have entered here. If we have spotted it on time, we ought to have entered this area, and with the first take profit will be this area. The first take profit should have been this area. Then the second take profit will be this area. So anything can happen. The market may just decide to break this area and continue the world movement. Remember, we combine this with fundamentals. So as you are doing your technical analysis, you also keep an eye on the fundamentals to see the what is happening, political news, economic news. Uh, just it's just like being a pilot, you have to be, focus on many things. So we don't have any setup. We are waiting for the setups to load in this pair, Australian dollar, New Zealand. Let's check another pair. I think we have done for Australian dollar USD. Do we have anything happening here? We switch to the monthly time frame. It's in downward trend. It's in middle of the range, so no trade. The worst thing that will happen to a trader is to trade in the middle of the range. That's the easiest way to lose money because they will keep on manipulating the market and you will be confused on what to do. You will not be in profit and you will not be in loss. And at the end, they have a way of manipulating it and you will just be losing your money if you are scalping. So the weekly is in downtrend. This is the ideal place we would have entered this market because of confluence of demand with trend line. This is the ideal place. And if you have entered here, you would have waited for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, which is not easy for the average trader to do. But that's how the professionals do trade. They put a trade and wait for up to 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months, 1 year. Like the crypto market, if I've waited for, okay, let's go to the crypto after this. So in the daily chart, what can we see? Um, okay, market have break. There is a break in this trend line. So we may be expecting market to, we have a demand supply area here. And I think liquidity is being engineered. Trend line in liquidity is being engineered. So we may be looking at this, then this. And you can see that we have a trend line here. This trend line is from the weekly. So we have confluence. So we are going to be waiting for price to approach this area and come down to this area. So we are expecting price to approach this area, then make a move down to this area. All these things are going to take time. So it's not something that happens overnight. That is why this trading is very bad because these things, the market can range for a long period of time and you'll be spending your lifespan on the system. So nowadays, I don't spend my time on the system anymore. I just wait for setups. When the setup comes, I trade. If it doesn't, I forget about trading. So you need to find something to keep you busy so that you don't be in the system all the time. You just maybe in the night you make your analysis and put pending order here and there. so you don't cut down your lifespan. One of the reasons why we trade is to have freedom. And if at the end of the day we don't have freedom, it doesn't really worth it. And this in 2024, I've resolved to be a professional trader. I have resolved to trade like professionals, no matter what it takes. I have to detox my brain so that the dopamine level I need to will be reset. So we are going to be waiting. We are in waiting mode for Australian dollar USD. We are going to be waiting for price to come to this area of confluence before we sell. So if we find a good setup for buy on the H4, we can buy and take profit around this area. So let's wait and see. Okay, let's see what is happening in H4. So I have gone through a lot of mentors. So one of my mentors will only trade when TDI is at the extreme, and there is an edge on it. TDI extreme with round number, that is when you will only trade. So I will be waiting for me to buy. I will be waiting for price to approach this area, and with the TDI to the green should now be at the buying zone. So before I buy, so this is just the game plan. So that's the game plan. So anything can happen. We just have to adapt to the market. What we do as traders is just to try to forecast where price will be going in the possible future. So let's see what is happening in Bitcoin. As of last year, I entered Bitcoin with very huge lot size here around this area. But I couldn't control my emotion to wait. I predicted that this Bitcoin will reach this area, and this happened. But because of that scalping mentality, I did not allow my trades to evolve. I should have waited for 1 year, and I should have turned the $100 invested into almost 10 million naira, into $10,000 by now. So I made serious mistake by not allowing my trade. You see, the emotional part of trading is terrible. If you don't control your emotion, you will never succeed as a trader. It will be very difficult for you to succeed. So part of the business we need to fine tune is the ability of one to control his or her emotion. If you can't control your emotion as a trader, you will never succeed. And that is the biggest challenge I'm facing at the moment. At a point in time, I'm thinking of going for psychiatric evaluation because of the impulsive trade I used to do. Even when I'm 100% correct, I still can't control my emotions. So that's the biggest challenge for traders, and your ability to control your emotion, your ability to be patient, wait for 6 months, 5 months for a trade to happen. So you see, the crypto, I predicted this movement when the uptrend started around this area. This thing happened around January, February last year from here. And now see where the price is. Now it's not possible. Nobody could have just been patient to wait for crypto to just skyrocket like this. Nobody. So this is a game of patience. You need to have patience. If you don't have patience, forget about it. And you need to go, okay, what will you be scalping with the manipulation going on in the market? There is nothing much. I tried to scalp, but it wasn't working out. And the thing about scalping is that you will always miss the run, because you are not going to be in the system all the time. Like if you are scalping now, you may just go out and this movement will occur. Maybe you have been in the system since morning. In the evening, you will now go to sleep. When you wake up, you will find that the market have, you know, did some wonders. So avoid scalping. If you want to be successful, forget about scalping, forget about the trading. Just focus on long-term trading. The issue is that most of the people that claims they have made millions in trading, that they are gurus, they don't know how to trade. I've passed through hellfire as a trader. I've passed through hellfire. I've gone through almost all the systems in Forest Factory, almost all the system you can think of. And you are the only mentor of yourself. You are the only mentor of yourself. You are the only one that can tell yourself how to trade, just with a little guy from one or two mentors. Okay, let's see what is happening in CAD, Well, I'm tired. It's like going to end this video. So we continue by tomorrow. Let me just try and finish this. Do we have any pattern? So what we do, we look for pattern, trend lines, support and resistance. That's what we basically do as a trader. You look for patterns. Let me see if there is any. So we have a pattern here. So we're expecting this price to continue up. So these trades could, when you master to leave your trade to run for days, weeks, months, then you will simply become successful. So in this trade now, we're expecting price to maybe do like this and continue. This will take months to happen. But how many traders will be patient to wait for that number of months before they take profit? It's not really easy. So let's check the weekly. Uh, so this is a kind of Market is in middle of this trend line, so we are going to wait for market to trade at the extremes. Extremes. Anything in between this area and this area, forget about it. You are going to lose your money. So you always try to trade within this place and also here. When market approaches here, you trade. Just forget about this zone. Anything here will end up you will end up losing your money. Anything in the middle, the market will just chew you up. So on the daily, nothing much. So I use this for extra confidence when I want to enter, and I use it on H4 and M15. CADJPY, I think I'm very tired. Maybe we continue next time. So enjoy, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfection. The more you practice, the more you know. Just open a demo account and start practicing. So you will be getting used to the whole thing. Draw the patterns, look for the pattern, you will see them, they are always there. So feel free to comment, feel free to ask questions, feel free to subscribe, share this video and like this video as we work hard to make to become unconscious, competent, professional, profitable traders that will always be making and receiving bank alert from trading. Thank you.